the white man, not by the Negro, not by just the Muslims. We're oppressed by each and every last one of them, all together. They're all on team number one, the idiot team. Against who? Poor us. Everybody, the FBI, CIA, all of them on that team, right? So is ISNA, ICNA, and everybody else, right? So is this place around the corner, that place around the corner, over across town. Everybody is on that team, right, against us. And we're the only ones been right about anything. Not only just right. And like, see, right now, they might tell you, well, we're going to wear us down my behind. You're not doing nothing. You know why? Our accuracy has picked up. The closer we get to the day, the more accurate we've become. Seem like when you get old and all gray-headed and all that stuff, you ought to start slipping a little. And that's not happening. We're getting more accurate. We're doing off better, and we are more deceptive. I'll try to put this together. More deceptive? Everything boss man do is just running to the ground. I tell you. So this morning when I woke up, last night when I went to sleep, I took a big thick towel and I put it over my pillow, And so when I woke up this morning, I was full of fire and fired up. Now, yesterday when I saw you, I had been laying on that same pillow and high as a kite, delirious, and go to sleep, just, it's no problem. You got to remember, y'all think about it. When we was up on the house doing the roof, remember boss man was doing stuff then because I couldn't hardly get up the ladder. And if I did, in fact, if I remember right, I was rocking so much that when I was up on the roof, if I made a move, all of y'all would, right? I mean, because you could tell something was wrong, right? My balance was off. My balance is not off now. Why is my balance off then? Because boss man playing around. Okay, I can't tell you how happy I am about boss man and his actions. Good God Almighty. I'll just do like today. So today, we got down. We said we'd come at 2:30, whatever it was. But now, that's because I was running a little test. So I took a little drink of something that was in there, and guess what? In fact, it's supposed to wake me up. Coffee, and I talked about this the other day. So I said, I'm not going to sit here and fight this. I'm just going to go on, lay down, and write notes. When I'm laying down, I reach over and I'm writing these notes. So when boss man puts you in a knockout type of situation, it doesn't dull your intellect. It does your awakeness and they figure what we'll do is we'll get this nigga something to slow him down. Right? So every now and then if I go to my favorite coffee thing and I and juiced up and they see you there writing and they say this is too positive for them. So they go back to an old program when I used to be in the office right there. This was over 20 years ago. There's a type of coffee I bought. And it have a nice an Egyptian type coffee. You have a lot of juice. Nobody else would like it, but the juice, when I drink it, it's like cocaine, drinking cocaine. Like Maxwell House coffee, that cheap coffee, but you be just, So I didn't like that type thing, So when you drink different coffees, you got one It's like a high. It's like different marijuanas, I don't like that. That's all right. Oh, they're all good, but I like that one right there. And then there's number 2, there's number 3. So right now, I was doing the number 2 that I like. Because I go down there yesterday and get number 1 what I like, and all of a sudden, boop. So I said, okay. But remember, it's no problem. Here's why. Whatever boss man do, you're going to adjust yourself to what he does so that you can get the best out of what's going on. And you get a chance to fool him. So pretty soon, there's nothing he can do. He believes if he can keep you in the bed all day, you can't run around and do like you do and fix this and fix that, right? So you give him that. You say, go ahead, boss man. But at the same time, everything that he do to you, you're getting more accurate. He don't understand that. He thinks if he can keep you just laying down all day almost. Well, I don't want to do that. Sure. You're laying there and you're writing notes. And actually you're becoming more efficient and more effective. Just think about it. The lectures we've been doing here, are they more efficient and are they more effective? Are they more timely? If you had to wait for 6 months or a year for something to happen some years ago, how quick does it come out now? Said today, tomorrow, you can almost wait for the news, right? That's what's happening right now. That's what's happening this minute. What I'm saying, we're visibly living through a period where we whooping boss man so many ways, and all of them have something to do with color. But there's some things that pertain to the world that we're telling the world to do, or not telling them what to do, but making serious hints. And we've been making those hints. Last week, the ship from Iran to Syria, and then they rolled into Lebanon with truckload after truckload of petrol. Winter's getting ready so they can keep the hospitals open, they can keep all the thing open. You could tell Lebanon have been on the thing. You could tell that thing blew up in the doggone harbor and blew Lebanon to bits. It just blew it to bits. There's another ship almost there today, coming from Iran, loaded with what people are going to need in Lebanon. The government don't get the credit. The government is mad. The U.S. don't get the credit because the U.S. is mad, right? All of them is mad at Iran, Syria. All of those is blockade running. It's blockade running that they've taken what they need in in Lebanon, which Lebanon used to be a part of Syria, but after Sykes-Picot, it was a long time ago, 1920, it was 100 years ago, in fact. After World War I, the French, they gave Lebanon to France and other stuff, and England took parts of Iraq and all of that. Anyway, that's not the problem. Here's the problem. It's not the problem, it's the solution. The solution is that they're doing certain types of blockade running that they need to replicate all over the region. It's the time for it because the calendar, everything is saying it's the time. Do y'all remember I mentioned the Berlin blockade, 1949? So the Russians closed everything. Berlin was separated into four parts. The French got a part, the British got a part, the Russians got a part, and the English got a part. So the Russians was acting funny in theirs, so the Americans did the Berlin blockade running. They sent them C-47s all over, and they would just drop candy bars to the kids, packages of food and everything, because Berlin was starving to death. And they called it the Berlin blockade. You can probably find it on there. So anyway, Berlin blockade, 1949. That was a strategy. Now, we have Yemen, and Yemen is not in the Persian Gulf. Yemen is on the other side. And then there's the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea on one side, and then the Arabian Sea. All right. I'm just imagining, I haven't looked up what the coastline is, but it's hundreds and hundreds of miles of borderline on the seashore. So now it's time for blockade running on a higher level. Some of Yemen is over in the Red Sea area, like on the other side, the Gulf of Aden or whatever. You might as well call it the Red Sea. Some of the big cities are over there. Hadramaut and Sana'a, they're over there. But this whole coastline over here. So we said this before, but we're more determined about it now. So now, blockade running means simply this. All of the Muslim countries that want to donate medicine, food, and all that should send it to certain people that they know are going to handle it right. I mean, shiploads of it. And then there's other people with speedboats that have just the characteristics that they need. I want you to just imagine those ships are like motherships out there on the ocean, right? And all these ships are coming, all these speedboats are coming and loading up all day long till that ship is empty. And all of them are not attacking the coast, but they're hitting it. There's no military in the world that could stop them boats. There's too many. That's why Iran they're ready for that, because they called it swarming. From 40 years ago almost, them big ships, big oil tankers, Iran used to ride up to them boys and take a rocket grenade launcher and shoot at them. Yeah, that's what they did. They didn't have nothing else in those days. But here's where we're coming from on this. There's always alternative strategies to have. At one time, the pictures I showed you yesterday, a day before, about poison gas and Iranians in trenches, that was World War I warfare. Why did they fight it? Because they didn't have time when that war hit them, they didn't have time to do nothing. So they had to use what they had, okay? They did have the opportunity to use helicopters, paratroopers, and all that. The worst type of war you can fight is a face-to-face You're here, you're there, they can shoot mortars over into your trenches and you can shoot them over there. That's why 1 million people died. 1 million people died in that Gulf War, 1980, 1988. We told them you have to be innovative, but they didn't have time. They didn't have time. On the struggles that they're, so that's why poison gas was effective on them, because they was fighting a World War I type trench warfare. Nobody would leave themselves stuck in trenches in modern times, right? Now they got planes, they got helicopters, they got a trench. It's insanity, right? It's insanity. But they didn't have nothing else. And they didn't trust themselves to be innovative at that time.